This is the first Toyota Supra.
This is the newest Toyota Supra.
And this is every Supra in between.
How did this car go from certified flop to legendary bop?
And is the Mark IV really the best one?
Somehow the stars have aligned, and today we're gonna drive every single Supra to find out which one is the best.
Oh, James.
Oh yeah. Get out of my face!
Welcome to Donut.
Welcome to Donut indeed. Let's drive some Supras.
This is the first Toyota Supra, but it's not really a Supra at all. In the mid-70s, Toyota saw the awesome Datsun Z and, hey, we should do something kind of like that. And they kind of did, except badly.
Yeah, they took the already stellar Celica and gave it a longer hood and dropped in a 110 horsepower inline six and called it the Celica Supra.
I've never seen one of these before. Mark I Supra doesn't look like one.
It doesn't. It looks like a Chrysler. This is the most 1978 color possible. It's like a Barks root beer brown.
I actually kind of like it.
Toyota sent 65,000 of these to the States. Doesn't seem like a lot of them are left because this was very, very hard for us to get. This is in really good condition. This is a very good example of a Mark I Supra. That being said, you could tell me this was literally made by anybody.
There's nothing in here that says Toyota for sure.
Do we have AC? Does it work? Let's see how it drives.
Yeah, let's get it on the road.
One thing Supras are known for is being 10-second cars. And let's see if this one is.
This is full throttle, James.
Oh my God. This thing has a blistering 110 horsepower.
Something tells me that's not enough for the weight of this car, James.
That's the scariest 20-mile-an-hour turn I've ever taken. This one was not received well. Road and Track said this is the least confidence-inducing car they had ever driven, and that it was better off on the highway at the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. Full throttle! Speed! Oh my God, dude.
I think they were going for like the grand touring kind of vibe, right? Give it a bunch of options, make it comfortable, make it sporty looking. Because it was already built from something else, I think it was kind of inevitable that it didn't really work out.
Oh my God, dude, that should not feel like that.
God, please make the squeaking stop.
All right. Definitely an old car,
yes.
The one that started it all.
Yes. All right, this is the monolist right here. We're gonna rank all the Supras as we drive them. James, where do you think the first gen Mark I Supra goes on the board?
Well, we don't have a lot to compare it to, but it is the one that started it all. Set a baseline right in the middle.
Perfect. All right, we got 4 more to go.
Let's drive the Mark II.
Hey, guess what I heard about Valvoline, the official oil sponsor of Donut? Okay, so my cousin Jimmy just told me that Valvoline's full synthetic line offers 24 times stronger protection against engine-killing contaminants than the industry-leading synthetic motor oil. I asked, I said, Jimmy, how come Valvoline's so much stronger? And you know what he said? He said it all started back in the day when fishes used to drive cars. Can you believe that? I mean, if you thought your grandma was dangerous behind the wheel, imagine a tuna. Now, Jimmy said this inspired Valvoline to create their full synthetic line. It gives you superior protection by better surrounding water molecules, preventing them from separating and threatening the engine. Now, I know this story's hard to believe, but Jimmy has never lied to me. So to keep your engine from sounding fishy, get the ultimate protection with Valvoline. To learn more, click the link below.
So Toyota's first big swing was a bit of a whiff, but they knew they were onto something. The next Supra would still be based on the Celica, but with a lot of big changes to make it a true blue sports car.
They started from square one, and all of the hard work paid off in 1982 when they debuted this, the Mark II Celica Supra. And I tell you something, boy, I freaking like it. This thing looks so good, dude.
Definitely of that like 80s Giorgetto Giugiaro kind of school of design. You can definitely see all that influence on this.
This is an insane example of this car. This might be the best looking one. Oh yeah. There is a jump from like 1979 to like the early 80s, where it's like technology was just different. This is like night and day compared to the other one. The other one's brown on brown. This one's got a nice, cool gray interior.
All right, enough talking. Let's drive it.
Enough talking, let's drive it. I mean, this just sounds like a car. Like,
So much better,
you
dude.
can tell this is so much better. But this is just so much more of a sports car, and that's by design.
Oh man, it's just, I mean, yeah, this is a sports car.
When this car came out, the press agreed. In a car and driver comparison test for best handling import car of 1984, it beat 2 Porsches, a Lotus, and a Ferrari. In car and drivers testing in 1985, it finished second out of 8 cars in the best sports coupe comparison. Motor Trend gave it the 1982 import car of the year. Car and Driver called the chassis nicely tuned, and David E. Davis called it a nearly perfect car.
How's it feel, James?
Dude, it feels pretty good. This is like a proper car.
This is actually the best-selling Toyota Supra with 114,000 cars sold in the US. It doesn't surprise me at all. This thing's amazing. One of the big changes they made in this car over the Mark I was the rear end. The Mark I had a solid axle like a freaking truck. This had independent semi-trailing arm suspension, a bit more like a true double wishbone. Not quite there yet, but still a lot better in the handling department, and I think you can feel that.
This thing is great.
I love this car.
I mean, so far, it's my favorite. Might be the surprise of the day. But I cannot believe how much I love the Mark II Celica Supra. And for that reason, dude, it's at number 1 right now. I mean, I came here fully expecting that Mark IV is just gonna sweep,
Sure.
but this is really good.
All right, Toyota pulled it off. The Supra went from laughing stock to truly great sports car. So the only question left was, how do you follow that up?
To find out that answer, Toyota redesigned the Mark III Supra from the ground up. The Celica was now a front-wheel drive sports coupe, leaving the Supra find its own identity.
Very long, very late 80s, very pointy.
I mean, compared to the other 2 cars, this is a big car. You got the Targa top, which is synonymous with the Supra, and this was the first generation to be turbocharged.
White with blue interior. This is pretty cool.
Dude, this is sick. I love a Targa top. I love a T-top. Convertibles are only cool if they're scary. Like, this feels much more solid than even the Mark II.
Got a lot more gauges now. There's a boost gauge right
sick.
here. All the gauges are canted towards the driver. All right, let's rock and roll.
All right, let's drive this, boy.
It's got a blow-off valve, James. Turbocharged, baby. Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Journalists did not like this one as much as the second gen.
No.
It kind of got torn apart. A lot of them complained about body roll from the fact that they cut the roof off of it. One journalist said that it handled like al dente pasta.
I think we have the benefit of hindsight too. This is an old car. We are charmed by it, whereas those journalists at the time, they were comparing it directly to competition. It does feel heavier. It's bigger. It's got more equipment on it. It had a electronic suspension system that changed how the suspension feels, which is crazy for the 80s.
I mean, that sounds so sick.
It's so cool.
Oh yeah. Now we're in Supraville.
Yes. This guy has the 7M GTE engine, turbocharged inline 6, making 230 horsepower.
This is an 80s turbocharged car, so the power band is way up high, way heavier than the Mark II. But I can definitely feel the car wanting to keep going straight when I turn the wheel.
Last corner comes up, round 7 of the Australia Production Car Championship, and it will go to John Burke this afternoon over Peter Fitzgerald.
Toyota actually entered this in Group A racing in the late 80s. They actually built a homologation race car called the Supra Turbo A, so I think there's only like 500 of them in the world. Unfortunately though, around that time, Group A racing was being dominated by a little car called the Nissan GTR.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. I'm conflicted. I think I would rather have this one, but I acknowledge that the Mark II is a better like driving car.
The Mark II was the first good Supra. This is more like what I think of a Supra being, which is a big GT car with a turbo. So I'm conflicted too. While the Mark III is very good, it's not the most anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this where it belongs. I'd rather have this one. Nolan would rather have this one. Okay, the moment that we have been waiting for, and I assume the moment that you guys have been waiting for, second up to speed ever, 4th gen, Mark IV Supra. Let's freaking drive it, dude.
Let's go. Instead of elevating the Supra to great new heights, the Mark III shrouded the nameplate in uncertainty. Toyota had learned from their missteps before, but could they do it again?
Dang, dude! This car's freaking sick, bro! The Fast and the Furious one! All right, dude. Driving a Mark IV Supra. I mean, come on. Name a more influential car. Now this one is not stock unless that big 12-inch sub comes stock.
Yeah, this thing's got a bunch of goodies on it, like super sticky track tires, big old CCW wheels, TRD hood and wing. This thing ain't stock for sure.
When I was a little kid and I first decided that I was gonna be a person who liked cars, I remember getting an Import Tuner magazine. It had a bright yellow Supra on the cover. I told my dad, I want one of these. And he was like, you can't have one. I like it as much as I thought I would. Like, there's a lot of cars, people say don't drive your heroes. This is one of my favorite cars in the history of cars. And somehow, dude, it feels exactly how I thought it would. Dad! Get out of my face!
So Toyota was pissed that Nissan destroyed them in Group A. So that gave them a lot of motivation to make the next Supra really freaking good. Toyota's really focused on outright performance. They used a lot of aluminum in the construction of this thing, kept that weight down, and the cherry on top of all that weight savings was the 2JZ GTE engine. Perfect. That delivered 320 horsepower. This one I think makes a little more than that. It had a 5-second 0 to 60 time. It rivaled the Dodge Viper, Lamborghini Diablo.
What?
Yeah, this thing was going toe-to-toe with some of the baddest cars on the planet for a quarter of the price.
This was a serious car when it came out. One of the best in the world going up against the best in the world.
Yeah. The brakes on this were so good that it had a 70 mile per hour to 0 distance of just 149 feet. That record wouldn't be broken till the Porsche Carrera GT.
And it's like one of those rare cars that is as good as everyone says it is. Like, these are ridiculously expensive, but maybe for good reason. I don't ever want to stop driving this.
Oh, that was good.
I mean...
Oh, there you go. All the way at the top.
This is not only the best Supra, this is the best car. This is the best car.
James, you love the heck out of this thing.
Yeah.
But we still have one more car to drive, so let's see how they followed that up. The Mark IV was discontinued in 2002, and for nearly 20 years, its legend just grew and grew.
Meanwhile, rumors of a new Supra swirled around Supra circles, and Supra enthusiasts built bigger and bigger shoes for the new Supra to fill.
Then, at the 2019 Detroit Auto Show, Toyota unveiled this, the Mark V Supra.
To mixed reception. I like it. People who don't like this car are stuck in the past. People who are boring. People who aren't willing to pay attention to the evolution of a form. This is as much a Supra as any other Supra. I mean, look at the difference between the 2 and the 3 and the 3 and the 4. This delivers on the heritage of the Supra in a very, very good way. This is definitely the most comfortable car we've driven all day.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, ow! Okay, my only qualm with it, the roof is really low.
I mean, this is already the best performing Supra so far.
I mean, it doesn't have the sense of occasion that the Mark IV has, but that's because it's a modern car.
Yeah, turbo cars these days don't have any lag. The turbo just adds power right away.
You can hear a lot of induction noise. There's no turbo flutter. Over 20 years of Supra darkness, and then in 2019, this is what we were given. A lot of hardcore fans did not respond very well, mainly because most of this car is a BMW. It's built almost entirely on a BMW chassis. It's got a ZF built gearbox.
This thing's a fantastic motor. I love the B58. This is such a conflicting car.
I don't think I'm a good enough driver to completely enjoy new sports cars. In a car that is absolutely inconvenient, I want to feel like I'm on the edge. And in a car like this, by the time you're on the edge, you are in the serious danger zone.
You could
pal.
like hurt yourself or hurt other people.
And I want a car that is exciting before it's dangerous. It's not that they're too fast, it's that they're too comfortable while they're going fast. This one's hard.
This is
This
really
one's
hard.
tough. I want to go against the grain, against everybody. I want to say that I love it.
Not in love with it.
I don't love it. I think obviously cooler, obviously cooler. I think it's third.
I think it's there, yeah. I think that's 100% how I feel.
And that is the list. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and everything else on Donut. Seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, this was an awesome day at work, and it's all because of your guys' support.
Continue to support the channel by listening to our podcast, Past Gas.
If you miss up to speed, Past Gas will scratch that itch for automotive stories and history. If you like Nolan's shirt, we have now partnered with Zoomies. All Donut apparel and accessories are available at every Zoomies in America and Canada.
Go to the mall, baby.
Follow Nolan on social media at Nolan J. Sykes. Follow me at James Pumphrey. Again, thank you guys so much. This was a great day at work. I love you.